Hello friends, hello strangers. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've been on this channel, huh? Well, I decided to pop back over here to give you all some good news. As of October 23rd of, well, this year, I am actually a married woman. Yep. On October 23rd last month, I actually got married to Lily. So, oh god, like I wanted real bad to like do something to commemorate like not only the wedding itself but like the 3 weeks I spent with her, because I was there from like the 17th of October to some point in November. And stupid me, because I'm just like terminally clueless and just easily forgetful, I forgot to take pictures of the whole thing. And initially, to make up for that, I was thinking about just like doing like a long like Twitter thread about like how amazing like those last 3 weeks were. Then when I thought about it, however, I decided to take it just a step further and just make a video that's just literally me just talking about how wonderful those 3 weeks have been. So I should start off by pointing out that up till this point, like before I actually went to see her, I had not seen Lily physically in over a year. I last saw her in August of 2020, but since then, like travel restrictions like tightened because people can't fucking behave themselves and COVID got worse. So we initially were trying to shoot for February or March to get married of 2021, but travel restrictions were tightened again, so we had to scrap those plans, and there weren't any plans to like get back together for a while, and that has been that's been a strain on the both of us. Like the time between August 2020 and October 2021 was miserable. Absolutely just gut-wrenchingly horrible, because like I don't know if you've like spent that long being unable to just like hold the person you want to marry. I'm sure a lot of people in long distance relationships or something of the like know what I'm talking about, but if you haven't, that shit sucks super hard. So when we heard that they were allowing people to cross the border who had proof of vaccination and a negative COVID test within 3 days, which I was able to get, we started making plans almost immediately. Like we heard that it was going to take into effect around August, so we started making plans in July. We were trying to solidify them throughout September, and we finally got to make good on them in October. And during the whole time, like the day I had to like fly out to see her, I was in not just that day actually, like the days leading up to it where I actually had to get my vaccination, I was just in full panic because I was just bracing myself for something to go wrong, and I would have to spend another 1+ year being unable to see the woman I wanted to marry. Which, yeah, that's when you're so anxiety induced like I am, that's not fun. So up to me having to go get the COVID test to finally landing in Halifax, I was just in a state of mind. I was like, okay, what if something goes wrong? What if they don't let me cross the border? Or what if I cross the border and then some shit happens where my documentation isn't right and I'm stuck there, unable to like do anything for like 2 weeks, where I have to self-quarantine or something or other, blah, 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 blah. To my actual shock and indescribable relief, everything went okay. I gave everyone the documentation they needed. I went through customs okay. I had to like crisscross airports a bunch. I had to do a bunch of connections, some pretty lengthy layovers that were mostly spent trying to get through customs. But after spending an entire day just going from flight to flight to flight, I finally landed in Halifax after the sunset. So that was an immediate relief, knowing that I finally made it here after like so long, and I was just like moments away from just holding my sunshine in my arms again. I call her my sunshine, by the way, obviously. But then there was a point where to my left, when I got to the airport, I was in a position where to my left was like the last checkpoint I had to show my documentation to, and to my right was my luggage. which I had to pick up. And I wasn't sure immediately which one to go to first. So, funny story, I walked up to someone who was just outside the line that I thought was just like a woman who worked there. And I was asking, hey, should I go over here, over here? And Lily's voice came out of the woman that just said, babe, just go get your luggage. She's like, okay, I'll go do that. So I turn to go get my luggage. I stop. My dumbass brain catches up to what just happened. And I immediately turn back around, just like throw my arms around Lily. It's like, oh my God, I didn't recognize you for a second. Oh, Jesus Christ, what's wrong with me? Over a year, I have not seen this woman. Like, that was the first time I laid eyes on her in like 14 months. And that's the first thing I did. I'm so fucking stupid. I am so fucking stupid. See, oh my God. See, this is the kind of shit Lily has to put up with now because we're married. Oh my God. But like, finally getting to just hug her and kiss her again after so long. Oh my God, it was so good. We finally made it to her place where I could just like fucking like put my luggage away, shed off my clothes that I was just spent all day and I was just like felt so grimy. And she treated me like an absolute princess to that whole night. Oh my God. She was just doting on me hand and foot. She gave me a back massage, which, oh my God, she is amazing at back massages. We just spent the entire night kissing, cuddling, and sweet talking. Just, oh, it was so good. It after so long of not being able to do that and just having to kind of like, just like blow kisses to each other on Discord. Oh, it was, I can't even describe it. It was just wonderful. And of course, that was just the first day. The very second day, she treated me to something else as well, where for a while she was talking about getting me a new PC, building me a new PC because I never really had a custom top of the line PC before, so she wanted to make me one. She kind of spent like the last few years just like gathering the parts to make one, and by the time I actually made it to her place for this trip, she had all the parts and we built it together. And that's like the one thing I actually took a picture of throughout this entire trip. Another showcase of how fucking stupid I am. Like I traveled out of town for my wedding, and the only picture I took was of the computer Lily helped me make. So yeah, goes to show where my priorities are. I'm sure my mom appreciates that too. I feel kind of bad for saying this, but like a few of the days past that point were something of a kind of like a domestic blur, where we were just like we were either doing something like a little special that was like still within our budgets, or just basically just like chilling and writing. When we weren't kind of like doing something like special, like seeing her parents or going out to get the marriage certificate, which was fun. Brief tangent here. It's been a while since I've been to Halifax, but it is a very nice corner of the world. Nova Scotia is fucking gorgeous, and Halifax itself actually is, to my knowledge, the most LGBT friendly place in all of Canada. They have LGBT cafes. They have a good theater district I'm aware of. And since I last was there, they actually updated their Pride crosswalks, because they have like Pride color crosswalks, and they actually included the trans Pride colors. Yep, the light, the sky blue, the pink, and the white. And I just thought that was really cool. I'm pretty sure that wasn't there the last time I was there, but it was still very nice to see. But yeah, when we weren't like prepping for the wedding or just doing something with her family, which was nice, we were just kind of like at her apartment, just doing what we usually do, like writing, playing WoW together. And yeah, that does seem a bit mundane for the trip, but like it was made so much better because we were actually there. Like, I wrote at one computer, she wrote at another, but there were times where like I could just like get up from where I was, go over to her, and just like kiss her to my heart's content, and like I couldn't do that before. And the fact that I could just made like the usual stuff we do together just that much more meaningful, because she's actually within reach. Yeah, it's just like the fact that I went so long without this just made like all the domestic and the mundane stuff feel like that much sweeter. I was actually able to make coffee for her again. Like, I hadn't done that since August, and like the first time I did it, like she was just so taken aback and just like so emotional because no one did that for her before. And I was just like, oh my God, I want to do this for you forever now. So yeah, I learned to make coffee the exact way Lily likes it, and I've often woken her up with a fresh cup. I've done that. I've made breakfast for her like on a few occasions. I make sure to wash the dishes regularly. I want to do stuff to help keep the apartment nice and tidy because that's going to be my living space too. So I'm just kind of like getting into the habit, and it just felt really good because she was there and it was just something we could share. Playing video games. Oh, so yeah. And of course we play video games together. We played a bit of Mario Party, which I'm very bad at. She always like beats my ass during it. So that was fun. So we get to the wedding itself. We're like about a week or so after I arrive. It was just the justice and 2 witnesses just in the apartment. We simply shared vows, which was a little awkward because I did have to use my legal name, aka my dead name. So that was a bit uncomfortable, but hey, it was more than a price I was willing to pay. It was a price that I was more than willing to pay. But yeah, by the end of it, it was kind of like a soft-spoken realization that like, oh my God, like we actually did it after so long of just like waiting and just like stressing about possibly not seeing each other for like another few years. We actually got married, and it was surprising in how like quiet and peaceful a revelation it was. Like I didn't like really feel like a rush of emotion despite how tightly I was hugging Lily and how close I was to just like crying on the spot. Like the realization itself was just kind of peaceful, and it still kind of hits me every now and again where I just wake up and it was just like, oh shit, that's right, I'm married. I have a wife. It just like, that feels so good to say. It's like that John Mulaney bit. It's like, it's so great. It makes you feel like a person. So yeah, and we've been married since the 23rd of October, which, funny story, I didn't realize this until like a bit down the line. That's actually my mom's birthday. So I did get married on October 23rd when my mom had her birthday, I just texted her, happy birthday, Mom, you got a new daughter-in-law. And she's like, oh, great, so how about them grandkids? And I'm just like, fucking be patient, wait your turn. Jesus. She's always she's always negging me about fucking grandkids. Speaking of parents, I did actually meet Lily's parents for the first time. That went more smoothly than I expected. That's actually a good descriptor for the trip itself. When so much could have gone wrong and everything actually just went smoothly, I'm just sitting there like pleasantly surprised. And her parents were a good showcase on that. They were respectful. They didn't like misgender or dead name me or anything, which was great. Like there were some times I did kind of have to leap to Lily's defense. I can't quite remember like when and why, but yeah, they were kind enough. And besides, like Lily's just spent her whole life dealing with them. She knows how to like deal with her parents, so that was good. It was fun to see. We actually spent Halloween over at their place, and which was like decked out to the nines with like Halloween stuff, like inflatables, like freaking holo projector, like showing Halloween stuff like on the wall of the house. Like they did have animatronics that the dad wanted to put out, but it was raining pretty hard that day, so he couldn't get to do it. It was still pretty impressive. Lily actually went to go take her niece and nephew trick-or-treating. Oh, by the way, her niece and nephew are freaking adorable. I love them. I love that they're my niece and nephew now. I love that I'm one of the cool lesbian aunts, and I love them to pieces, and I want to see more of them. But Lily went to go take them out trick-or-treating, and while I stayed behind to like hand out candy. While Lily's father was running around dressed as a T-Rex skeleton screaming at people. That was fun. But by the time Lily got back from taking the kids out, she just kind of like walked straight up to me, just fucking like pulls me into a tight bear hug, and she's like, okay, help. It's like, you okay, sweetie? She's like, I want kids. Oh, yep. Because we're at that weird spot where we kind of want kids, but we don't. But like we know we probably shouldn't at this point, so that was fun. That was a fun little thing to help comfort her through. It's like, oh my God, Lily, it's like, McKay, you don't understand. I want kids so fucking bad. It's like, I know, sweetie, I know, they're there. So yeah, that's a thing that might be a part of our future, might not. I know for a fact we're getting a dog at some point. Absolutely, that's like non-negotiable. But yeah, whatever our future holds, we are more than willing to face it together. That's fun. So yeah, beyond the wedding itself, there is still the matter of immigration, because we have to worry about that. We have to worry about actually making me a resident of the country. Thankfully, since we're already married, my foot should already be in the door. So yeah, that should take about a year. I'm not sure how long it will take, but I'm more than willing to be patient, because there is an end goal in sight, and it is possible for us to obtain. Because I really want to reach this end goal. I want to live with my wife. I want to know that I can like walk into that home and never have to leave. Well, I mean, I never have to like go back to another home. I can let that be my home. I want to have my home with her. And in some ways, I already do have a home with her. It's just I can't stay there just yet. But hopefully that's going to change very soon. Honestly, like I actually, like, so badly I didn't want to leave. I actually missed my first plane out, because I forgot to get like another test to like make sure I wasn't contracting COVID within 3 days. So I actually had to cancel my flight out and then schedule one for later that week. So I actually I stayed longer than I intended to, and honestly, like despite the fact that I had to dip into my savings to get another plane out, I'm happy that I missed that flight, because that was just more time spent with her. Although that did make the fact that that did make it so that when I eventually did have to leave, that did make it a bit harder. Because it was just like very tempting to just like cancel the flight again, just like stay there. But yeah, it's gonna be a while before I could just like stay there for good. But it was hard trying to fight the urge to like stay longer. I cried a bunch. Like you can ask Lily, like the night I was supposed to leave and the night I actually left, I was very tearful. I cried a bunch, and she just had to hug and kiss me all the way through it. The first night I had to spend apart from her, fucking hell, I cried. I didn't want to be back in New York. I wanted to be with her. But that's going to happen someday. We made it this far, and there's nothing stopping us from making it the rest of the way. I won't have a long distance wife for too much longer. And Lily, I hope you know I love you. I love you more than anything in the world, and I'm so glad that I'm your wife, and I want us to build a future together. I don't quite know what it's going to look like, but I know that with you, it's going to be perfect. I love you, sunshine. I'll see you soon.